Hello internet personas, my name is Veilfisk and welcome to a brand new series of... that must be a typo. Perfect tutorials where I give you everything you need to know to play the game in question in a short period of time. Today we'll be taking a look at, as you can probably tell by the title, Europa Universalis 4, which is better known by its official name, Bob Ross: The Joy of Painting, the video game. This tutorial is specifically for the Game Boy version of the game, though I'm sure it'll work on the other platforms like the PlayStation 2 and the Dreamcast. Now, despite the fact that EU4 is a massive grand strategy game, I assure you that after this video you'll have all the knowledge you need to perform your first ever genocide, and the technical skill to pull off so much more. Right, let's begin. The first thing you have to do in EU4 is pick a nation to play. There's tons to pick from, such as Niger, King Kong, Come Here, Ming, and so on. But after spending just about 1,000 hours feeling what morality I started with slowly drain away, I of course know the best nation to play as. Martian, or something like that. This is, of course, as anyone who's ever picked up a history book would know, because the subterranean lizard people taught them to make guns, build the pyramids, and instilled the desire to seize the means of production all prior to the start date of 1444. Okay, now that we're in the game, I'll just give a quick rundown on the numbers that you can see on the screen. Up here on the left, you've got a bunch of unimportant resources like money, people, bags of blood, green hats, just your usual RTS stuff. Over here on the top right, you have a built-in calendar and shopping list to remind you that you have a life outside the game. The bottom right contains a nice do-it-yourself world map to draw on while you're bored, and the bottom left is completely empty, just like my soul. Alright, now that you have a full understanding of all the numbers and the mechanics in the game, let's move on to the practical guide on the current meta and what you should be doing in the game. The first thing you will almost immediately want to do is leave the HRE. That way you'll never have to deal with unlawful territory from Austria, and you won't have to deal with those horrendous HRE taxes. With the first step to global domination complete, the next important thing you need to do is fix your religion. Now, the religions in EU4 are based on a color scale just like the one you see on the screen here, with the worst religions being a sort of pink salmon color, like some Buddhist denominations, yellow Catholic and green Muslim near the middle, and at the very end in a lovely red, animism, the undisputed best religion in the game. So we need to switch to animism. Now the best way to become animist is pretty obvious. Simply conquer everyone in a straight line through Russia, Central Asia, India, and China to the east coast, and then attack and annex Ternate. Pretty simple stuff, I shouldn't have to explain much about that process. Should only take you a couple of years anyway. Right, now that you're animist, the real fun can begin. So your first move now should be, of course, the immediate invasion of France. This is because, as the internet loves to point out, the French will immediately surrender when coming into contact with an opposing army. In fact, just 1,000 troops was more than enough to scare the French into an immediate surrender upon trying to engage them, so you should be able to pull off a real blitzkrieg and put Hitler's Le Mans lap time to shame. And with that war at an end, make sure you just fully annex France. There really isn't any downside to doing that. Now, with the French lands loyally by your side, the rest of Europe should be pretty easy. The only one I had trouble with was taking the English, because my men kept drowning both in the sea and on the land. Conquering the entire world from there should take you just under 50 years, with Byzantium taking the longest since by this point he's probably conquered as far as India by now. So, yeah, well, that's it. Now, I do realize that EU4 is, of course, a rather shallow experience, since it takes about 2 minutes to learn and another 2 minutes to master. So I do hope to do some more complex and deep games in the future, such as Civ 6 and Urban Empire. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see... Oh, oops.